Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So today the market opens only for a half day because we're one day away from July 4th. But regardless, let's talk about what's going on today. This massive bull signal that just flashed for Bitcoin. And what else is going on in the world today? So let's do this. Welcome, guys. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy pre-4th of July. And the market bell has rung. Bitcoin is just itching to move higher. That is pretty flat, pretty sideways movement. And we are getting ready for the next leg up. We're going to shatter 31.6 soon. But in the meantime, you know, maybe because of today, low volume tomorrow, we may be hovering. But man, there are some good days coming. And of course, not just Bitcoin, entire crypto market cap. Oops, I don't know why that just happened. Went up even more. Okay, 1.21 trillion, slowly creeping up. Bitcoin dominance slowly falling a little bit after being so strong, so hot recently. But a lot of altcoins are trending upwards. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum is starting to make some moves. Almost 3%, almost above 2,000. I was wondering when Ethereum was going to wake up, and it has. And several others have also started moving as well. So altcoins are starting to pick up, and that is fantastic. Now, as for today, the U.S. market, let's see. The bell has rung. It's looking like, well, tech sector, high growth sector, NASDAQ is up. Dow and S&P is down. But today, you know who's up for sure? Tesla. Tesla is now back to 278, almost 280 after delivering some crazy number of Teslas for the second quarter. That's a lot. 466,000 deliveries, production of 480,000 vehicles. They grew over 80%. 80% within 1 year. It's like 83% or something year over year. That is astronomically good. What other car manufacturer grows 83% year over year? It's impossible rate, and Tesla's still doing it, and there are still people that doubt them. If you do the same kind of math, and let's just say you go like 83% higher of 466,000, and then you do 1.8 times 1.8. I mean, I don't know. That's projecting that they're going to be at what? 800,000 deliveries by this time next year. They're delivering close to 1 million cars per quarter. Wow, other manufacturers better watch out, but they are still growing by leaps and bounds. Just want to let you guys know, a lot of you guys are Tesla fans, but they are just killing. Elon is just killing. I'm waiting for that battle between him and Zuck. Wondering when it's going to happen. I hear it may be in the Colosseum, in the Roman Colosseum. That would be crazy too. Anyways, moving back to Bitcoin. Why do I say Bitcoin is itching to move higher, and why is this next leg coming up? Well, there's just a lot of accumulation, a lot of buying right now. Institutional investors are stocking up. Okay, no surprise. Look at that jump. Look at that jump. This is from Crypto Quant. Institutional fund accumulation trends. Well, that looks like we definitely broke out of this downtrend of institutions coming into the space. Okay, that's a massive reversal right there. And why? Because of all the ETF filings, right? We have so many that's pending, and there are so many that believe that this time around there's a really, really, really good chance. Okay, because we have futures-based ETF, we have futures leveraged ETF. There's no good reason why we shouldn't have a spot Bitcoin ETF. Okay, and here's the thing. Grayscale is also in a lawsuit with SEC over this. So SEC is already facing pressure on this. And really, Gary, can you really I don't know, can he really deny this any further? It's kind of ridiculous at this point, okay? Everyone is looking at the SEC finally caving in, and that's when you have Fidelity and BlackRock and Van Eyck and ARK and who else? Wisdom Tree, and there's someone big that I'm forgetting. That's all going to be jumping in, okay? This is going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, speaking of Gary Gensler, there were rumors this weekend, and I knew it was kind of fake, but I don't know. People wanted to believe it. And maybe it's still true, but not right now. There were people on Twitter spreading rumors that Gary Gensler is leaving. Somehow he was caught doing something and he's going to resign. Okay? And since then, SEC have responded to email requests on whether or not this is true, and they answer nope. That's all they did. So I don't know. I don't think that he is resigning. Not right now. Maybe later, unless there is really some damning news that comes out, some investigation that comes out, or something. But right now, he still has his job. But regardless, you know, spot Bitcoin ETF is coming. You can only deny this for so long before you just have to relent. And I believe that is coming. By the end of this year, we will have a few Bitcoin ETFs out there. And why Bitcoin ETFs or spot ETFs are important? Well, it's another avenue, another way for big whales and institutions to get in easily, okay, without holding any Bitcoin. And yet those fund companies have to buy and hold Bitcoin. So it's just another way for people to get in, and another way to remove Bitcoin from the supply. So that's the best way to think about it. And speaking of supply, 79% of Bitcoin supply is in profit. So those of you guys that's been DCAing, there's really little to be complaining about. Even if you bought your very first SAT or Bitcoin at $69,000, had you been following a pretty set schedule for DCA, you would be in the green already, okay? And there are a lot of calculators you could use to figure that out, but almost 80% of the supply is in profit. So people that are just purely holding Bitcoin, looking good. I know alts are not there yet. A lot of alts are still down, right? But it's just a matter of time. That's why I do the DCA portfolio with you guys every Wednesday night. But it just shows you the Bitcoiners, this is the reason why Bitcoiners are not afraid of volatility, because most of them are in profit. And plus, they know Bitcoin just continues to trend higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And, you know, we just go through these 4-year cycles. Yes, you have a pretty bad year, and then you have recovery year, and then you have pretty good years after that. And because of the institutions and because of new players coming in, right, what does that mean? Well, that means supply diminishes. So the inflow to the exchanges right now, Bitcoin inflow into exchanges, it is basically at a historic low, right? Supply is plummeting right now, and that's mostly because people are just taking Bitcoin out of the exchanges. What about going back into the exchanges? Very, very low. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense to be depositing Bitcoin to sell, because most Bitcoiners are just DCAing and holding. Okay. Yeah, it's that simple. Also, shrimp net positions, all-time high, 1.33 million shrimps. And that just shows, you know, retail investors, right? Retail investors accumulating, DCAing, fantastic. We don't want to let the whales to accumulate everything. You want the small guys to be able to join in on the party too, right? And that's why I argued this before, that there's more. I mean, this is probably the only investment asset where retail was right first, then the institutions followed. Normally speaking, I would say every other asset out there, the institutions start. Then retail FOMO's in. But this is the one asset, because it was created by people for the people, where retail is actually ahead of the game, right? But these big institutions, they're coming in. They're not dummies, okay? They may be causing manipulation. They may be causing FUD. They may be pulling the strings, like with Gary Gensler, but still, what they're doing is trying to play catch up. They're trying to accumulate as much as they can. So you don't want to let that happen, or at least not be faked out by it, okay? Okay, now moving on to signals. There seems to be like endless signals that people find, and they're all super, super bullish. Here's one, okay? If you look at, this is a historical one where you have this 2-week trend line, okay, or this level, and then you usually break above, and then we retest it, and then afterwards, boom, right? The only exception is 2020, because 2019 to 2020, because we had that COVID crash, but nevertheless, same kind of event. When you have a bottom event, when you have a capitulation event, you break through, usually you retest it a little bit, and then boom, you go higher, right? Happened in 2020, happened in 2015, it happened in 2019, and again, that was an asterisk because of the COVID pandemic crash. And then look at right now. Right? Again, we broke through that line, we retested it, and now look at that big green candlestick. Historic bull signal just flashed. And it's not the only one. There seems to be so many of these. Here's another one, okay? Some kind of moving average on a monthly scale. And you can see the buy signal just flashed buy right there. It's clear as day. We broke through whatever that moving average is. And again, if you look at history, anytime Bitcoin breaks through, it's very, very bullish. So we got a lot of historical bull signals being flashed right now. Not just one, multiple of them. Okay? Combined with everything else, this is why I'm very bullish on Bitcoin and why I think the next leg is coming up very soon. And I think we're ahead of the game. We're back above 30,000. It's only in July, right? If we end the year, you know what? I was actually fooling. I was trying to play with Google's Bard, their AI system, and I kept asking questions about how high Bitcoin is going to be by the end of the year, right? And didn't want to answer, but I kept forcing it to come up with an answer. And it answered Bitcoin was going to be at 40,000 by the end of the year. And I think that's a pretty good estimate. It was somewhere between 40, 45, maybe 50,000, but in the 40s, right? And I asked how high Ethereum was going to be, and it said 3,500. Pretty good estimations. Pretty good estimations. Anyways, so yeah, I think Bitcoin is, and Ethereum and everything else is going to be much higher by the end of the year. But what's really exciting is coming in 2024. Okay, now what about other crypto? Solana. A lot of you guys are still Solana. Solana fans, I should say, and bag holders. That's fine. Now, Anatoly, he just recently said that, you know what? Ethereum may have another layer too, and that is Solana. It's interesting. Interesting. So he started talking about, would it be possible for Ethereum to be a Solana L2? Oh, I got that backwards. I thought, I was reading this, and I thought he wanted to make Solana L2. No, he wants to make Ethereum a L2 for Solana. That's just utterly ridiculous. All right. I'm not even going to read that because that's just ridiculous. At first, I was glancing at this. I'm like, oh, maybe Solana would want to be an L2 for Ethereum and compete with the likes of Arbitrum and others. And that makes sense. Now he's talking about Ethereum becoming an L2 for Solana. It makes no sense. And Ethereum can't scale. L2s are usually faster, and feeless. I mean, Ethereum costs a lot more, and it makes no sense because it's like 10 times bigger than Solana. I'm just going to skip over that because that's kind of ridiculous. Let's talk about XRP. Everyone loves XRP. Ripple is about to unlock 1 billion XRP from Escrow. Okay, if that sounds like it's horrific or or scary. Well, it always happens. They do this on purpose. They unlock basically 1 billion XRP every quarter, and they see how much of that they can sell to their customers, who then buys it from them, OTC, basically, right? And then they relock whatever they don't sell. So a lot of times, it's close to the same number, okay? But just know that XRP's business model, or Ripple's business model, is to sell XRP. One of the reasons why I don't like XRP, because of this thing, right? This business model. No other crypto project pretty much does this, but you know what? Still, I'm still rooting for them because I do think Brad Garlinghouse is fighting a good fight against the SEC, and I'm waiting for a verdict. I'm waiting for a victory verdict, which will be another catalyst to drive things higher, and that will be fantastic. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. You know, Bitcoin is still hovering. The entire crypto market cap is doing better. I don't know why this always resets on me. But yeah, let's do some Q&A. You got Cosmos that's up pretty good. Filecoin is exploding. Don't know what the deal is. The graph is exploding. So you got some good movers over this weekend. Rocket Pool, Flow. You got good movers. Ethereum up almost 3%, right? Above 2,000. That's not too shabby. And Tesla is still, oh man, Tesla's going crazy. I knew I should have bought some more open calls on Tesla. I knew their delivery numbers were going to be good. I didn't know how good. Man, they're heading back up to 300 soon. All right. I saw a super chat. Phil, keep up the positivity. Kept me buying through the lows in November. Thank you, and you're welcome, and I'm glad to hear it, Phil. Right, most Bitcoiners, 80% of Bitcoiners are already in the green, and that number is only going to rise as Bitcoin goes up. Could you explain the difference between Robinhood and other exchanges? Well, Robinhood is stocks first, options first, and second, crypto exchange. I mean, I don't know what you want to hear other than they don't have a lot of tokens or coins versus other exchanges, and they like to bend the knee. They bent the knee to the SEC even without being asked, and delisted a whole bunch of coins, and I'm no fan of that, and I think a lot of people are not a fan of that either. Jack, no, not for me. I'm a lover, not a fighter. What do you think about Pepe? I have no thoughts on Pepe. I mean, what can you say about Pepe? It's like they have nothing going on. So what do you want me to say about Pepe? They will go to the moon? I can't say that because there's no promises. There's no indication that that's going to happen. They are a pure meme, right? All the other memes, I don't know, at least the bigger ones that came out in 2021, they're building utility. Pepe right now is just, there's no utility. Pepe will either go to the moon or go back to zero. One of the two. So you pick. Miners exploding, Mara and Riot. Well, whenever Bitcoin does well, it usually happens. So AMD's up, Riot is up, Coinbase is up. Coinbase is almost above 80. MicroStrategy's up. Oof. You know, I think, in my opinion, it's a good time. Not all, you know, I'm so bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, but I also think it's bullish. It's time to be bullish on tech sector. You know, these big boys, the FANG stock, and Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, they're going to continue to go up. And Bitcoin-related stocks like Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Riot, they're all going to go up too. But I'm very, very surprised by Coinbase. Very surprised. Yes and no. I was surprised. I knew they were going to trend up because of Bitcoin trend, but I thought they would be suppressed. Their price would be suppressed for a long time because of the SEC lawsuit. But I guess just no one really, no one like respects SEC or Gary. I guess that's why. I mean, look at it. Month to month, they're 50% higher. They went from $52, $51, $53 to $77. So month to month, they're up over 50%. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And I made good money with Coinbase before. I had some good call options, but they have expired. I should have loaded up more. And I'm going to load up more Tesla, but today is a horrible day to be loading up on call options. They're both up like 9%. And the good thing about this is usually I've noticed that whenever you have a good like tech rally, sometimes, not always, then that money gets pulled out and put into crypto, right? So we could see a really good rally with Bitcoin and the rest of the market later today when the market closes. It closed at 12, I think, today. CleanSpark is the most efficient big Bitcoin miner. Are they publicly traded? They're doing very well too. Thanks for a heads up. They're $500 million, up 8%. That could be a good play. Basically, everything that's related to crypto is bullish right now. Do you think only 15% of total supply of ETH being staked means to the security of the network compared to what it was POW? No. What do you mean by that? Do you think it should be a higher number or a lower number for not to be security? I don't know your point. How come stocks doing so good when the economy is doing horrible? I'm telling you, there's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. A lot of money. Okay? And it's mostly from people that, you know, that saved, or from the really rich that also just pulled out and have it on side, right? So that money is going to flow back in. People are waiting for confirmation. Companies, funds are waiting for confirmation. A lot of this, I don't know the breakup, but it could just be from the large hedge funds too. But there are still a lot of money on the side. That's why I've always said billions upon billions will be flowing in. People like to FOMO. People don't like to be the pioneers or early. People all wait for confirmation. And usually by then, it's a little bit too late. You missed out on most of the gains. Man, these are just too high. Too high to be buying right now. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, too high to be buying call options. I don't know. When it comes to stocks, I only talk about options because I feel like if you buy them normally, they're too slow moving. Although 8% day is pretty fast. But normally speaking, these stocks only go up like 2%, 3% per day, right? So that's why I feel like utilizing options multiplies your exposure and gains. But I mean, you could very well just hold on to their stocks and do just fine. Yeah, today NASDAQ is leading away. The U.S. government could pay off the national debt if they just hold on stack sats. You know, the funny thing is, one day that could be true, but we rack up so much debt every single year. It's hard. It's hard. The U.S. government have to accumulate a shitload, and once Bitcoin is above $1 million each, then yeah, it'll probably pay off a huge chunk. But we rack up like $2 trillion of debt every year. That's hard to overcome. Is Robinhood bending the knee to SEC due to the fact that they're the only on-off ramp not being sued attacked by the SEC? No, you got to realize these fiat on-ramp off-ramps are not from them. They utilize banks for that. And one of the reasons is probably they did that is because they want to please their banking partners. Because if they leave, then there's no stock trading either. So keep in mind, SEC is not attacking their banking partners. The banking partners themselves are scared and leaving. Isn't a POS network easier to attack the less the supply is staked? You're talking about like a 51% attack. Theoretically, yes, but you would have to get enough. You still have to get a huge, enormous supply and be able to, create a node or create nodes to be able to do it. It's just, so with something as big as Ethereum, it's extremely, extremely hard. Extremely hard to do. And even if that's the case, that has nothing to do whether or not it's security. Those are two separate things. Securities are mainly for like, the definition is mostly with profit, right? Is there expectation of making a profit and stuff like that. Tommy Vitalik and lead investor Justin said about ETH staking. I don't know what they said about ETH staking. All I know is Ethereum staking is going to climb up, but it's lower than it should be because most people that are participating in staking, they do liquid staking instead. Okay, they utilize like Lido or Rocket Pool where they stake Ethereum and get liquid synthetic ETH given to them so that they can do more with it. That's partly the reason why it's lower than it should be, but it's still climbing nevertheless. So between those two and between the bridges that exist, okay, which also lock up a lot, it's actually a much higher percent than people think. Plus, you still have ETH being deflationary and a lot of it being burned. No, I'm not going to be streaming tonight because there's nothing. Am I streaming tomorrow? I don't know. I might stream tonight. Will I be streaming tomorrow? No. I'm taking the day off tomorrow. It's 4th of July. There's nothing to talk about. Another George says, I just want to renovate my house. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Verge. I have no idea why Verge is going up. I have not been following it for a long, long time. Chris Anderson. I hope you're not a bot, because obviously that's a scam, and they always have scam things that relate to projects like Amazon with a weird name. So Chris Anderson, I hope you're not a bot trying to scam people in this live chat. Every coin that's spammed by bots is a scam. There's a lot on Twitter. Twitter is just full. It's like, I swear Twitter's like 90% bots. Whenever there's anything that's going on, bots are just spamming left and right. It's crazy how many bots there are on Twitter. Cardano or Tesla long term? I don't know. I like Tesla way better than Cardano. But Cardano's potential is also massive. So I just discovered another project. I was randomly looking on Cardano's tap tools, and I saw this other project, this decentralized computing project called IAG. And I realized IAG is initial for I am George. So I didn't know at the time, but still, they were exploding. So there's a lot of dApps that's now coming aboard Cardano that makes it look a lot more appealing. So that's good. That's good for Cardano. Quant or Polygon? Polygon 100%. I'm not a fan of Quant. I'm a big fan of Polygon. You can't ignore Polygon. They are just so big. Who do you think will win, Zuck or Elon? I mean, Elon is so much bigger. But if Zuck has years of experience in jiu-jitsu, then he may win. But Elon is just, I don't believe Elon would commit to anything that he absolutely does not want to win at, right? Like if he actually said, I want to fight him in a cage match, he's going to take it very seriously. And, if he's really a robot, like some people think, then he will win. Yeah, my money's on Elon. He's just, the weight class is not even close. I wonder, like, when they really fight, man, is it like a 3-round fight? I forgot the usual setups, like 5 minutes, 3 rounds, like a UFC fight. And if they really go hardcore, I mean, they could really be seriously injured. We're talking about 2 of the richest men on earth, and not to mention they're tech CEOs, not fighters. And I wonder what kind of trend will start. If others will start calling people out and start, getting into the octagon too. That's just crazy. It'll be the biggest pay-per-view event ever, though, for sure. No, I'm not look up My Lady's meme coin. No. I got fooled by them. They were at like 140 million once, and then they shot all the way back down to like 20 million. So, yeah, no. Game Command, you know that he's also learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And there's a reason why there's a weight class or weight classes in the UFC, right? If you got two guys, similar experience, the bigger guy is going to have an unfair advantage versus a smaller guy, right? So I'm sure Elon is learning it and how to defend himself with it. And maybe not, and maybe he's just not as good, but still. You have like a 50-pound and like 4-inch advantage for Elon. Elon's not a small dude. He's like 6'2". I'm guessing he's like 250. Even though like I seen estimates he's like 175 or 190. There's no way that guy's under 200 pounds. There's a huge weight discrepancy. Oh, wow. Wow, Coinbase is up 10%. 10%. You know, whenever you see these huge, gigantic moves with crypto stocks, that means money's about to flow in. Look at MicroStrategy. 52-week high. Their low point last month, about 266. They didn't double. They didn't go up 50%. Wait, is that 50%? Yeah, that's like 30%, 30%, 40%. That's still a huge climb within 1 month. When you got this kind of money flowing in, you know that money is going to flow into crypto soon too, right? So if the market is doing this well today, we may get a huge just like jump right there. Something like that later today. What if Lillard goes in San Antonio, Shannon? I don't know. San Antonio is such a boring team. He wants to go to Miami, right? I think he could do well in Miami with Butler and Bam. I've been hearing nothing but all the good moves Lakers are making. It seems like they are so stacked for next season. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. If AD can still stay healthy somewhat, and LeBron, even though he's declining, if he's still putting up like 25, 8, and 8, which is still like crazy numbers. If he can still put up like 25, 8, and 8, AD doing what his thing, they added so many pieces. The Lakers look so damn strong. So I'm excited about the Lakers next year. CP3 going to Phoenix is going to do absolutely nothing. He is old, he's out most of the time. I don't know where Lillard's going to go unless he goes to like and Harden's a free agency. Yeah, I don't know where these guys will go. All right, guys. Let's conclude. Overall today, pretty good day. Slow movement, only 1%, but I think that's going to increase. You got Coinbase, that's just going nutty right now, plus 11%. And you got like MicroStrategy up. You got Tesla that's up. Everything's up. It's looking pretty good. You got bull signals that are flashing left and right. It's looking good. It's looking good. We're off to a great start in July. July is traditionally a very, very, very bullish month for all things. So far, it's looking good. All right, guys, stay strong. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll probably see you guys tonight. So tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.